and welcome to the Glacially Musical Podcast. It is beer, metal, swearing, and apparently a motherfucker that'll go to Domino's and call you a liar. I, of course, am Nik Cameron of Glacially Musical, joined by my good friend, a man that always calls me a liar, Keefy Chocks. How we doing today, buddy?
'Cause I'm a liar.
That song sucks.
I'm
Actually,
a
no, that song is
liar.
good. The whole rest of the album sucks.
It does not suck. It's
It
Rollins
sucks.
Band. It's
I
crap.
know.
Rollins Band series next.
Oh,
Just for
my,
your
like,
insolence.
so what you're saying is my ass doesn't know the song Liar by the Rollins Band.
Do you know the rest of the record?
Yes. Listen to it in the 90s. I listened to it contemporarily. I decided it sucked in 1992
Oh, damn.
or 3 or whatever year it was. Anyway, if you're joining us here for the Pink Floyd Sid Barrett series, thank you very much. Here's how we do. We do a greeting, a beer check, vinyl check, news of the day, shirt check, meat of the episode. This week, the meat is the Piper at the Gates of Dawn, but he's not calling you his way, because that's Iron Maiden. The Piper at the Gates of Dawn is calling you his way.
Good joke.
Then there's other words. Beer, Glacier Musical Beer of the Week. Cash Money Imperial IPA. See that right there where that's the Imperial IPA logo. Every Imperial IPA needs this.
It looks like a parental advisory sticker, no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Keefy understands it.
I understood the assignment completely.
And the pop, the Glacially Musical podcast beer glass of the week in order to celebrate properly Superb Owl Sunday is my Gateway Grizzlies baseball pint glass. Because I will not be watching the Superb Owl Pointy Egg Ball Day.
I thought you were going to root for the Eagles.
I'm still rooting for the Eagles, but apparently I'm going to be watching Lord of the Rings in a theater.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's a good
Is
choice.
it?
You know what? If you're not going to go to the Superb Owl Bowl, which means the theater will be...
No, Superb Owl.
That's what I said, the Superb Owl Bowl.
Not bowl, just Superb Owl.
Okay, the Superb Owl and the Super Bowl Bowl and Spark a Bowl Bowl. I want to say that that's actually probably a better use of your time is to go rewatch the extended version of Lord of the Rings for like 6 hours. You do that.
Yeah, we're doing that in a theater
I'm
at
jealous.
the Alamo.
Just all six of them, all three of them.
No,
Or just the one.
just 3. Lawyer wife has had the flu this week, so she has
no.
she's been catching up. She has watched all of the Hobbit extended cut. Although let me say the Hobbit extended cuts are not that extended.
They're not that good or extended.
Because when you take a 300-page book and turn it into a 9-hour movie to begin with, how much did you leave on the floor?
That needed to be one movie. You realistically, like, I love Lord of the Rings more than everybody except Lawyer Wife, and I'm gonna say that that needed to be 2 movies, not a whole trilogy. And honestly, the Hobbit movies could have been 1 movie, not 3.
Yeah, could have been 1 movie.
Could have been 1 movie and a special featurette online. Like, it did not need to be.
No,
3.
it was like they literally did what SNL said. The Hobbit Part 2. Bilbo forgets his keys. I mean, that's basically the movies.
Dude, where's my hobbits? What does mine say? Brandy Buck, what does mine say? Fool of a toque.
What does yours say? Smaug.
Right.
Oh, what does yours say?
I do have to
Bard.
say, like, in terms of the voice casting, Benedict whatever his name is
Cumberbund. Benedict Cumberbund.
Cumberbitch. He is incredible as the voice of Smaug.
Oh, he really is.
And and maybe Martin Freeman is actually a better actor than everybody else in all the rest of the Lord of the Rings except Ian McKellen.
Yeah, probably true. Where was I? Oh yeah, so she's watched all 3 Hobbits, and now she is finishing up 2 Towers extended cut because she hasn't gone to work all week. It's driving her crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But so anyway, that's my beer of the week. What you got, buddy?
I have a Trader Joe's sparkling seltzer that I'm going to drink in a mason ball glass. Nice pop.
In a mason ball glass?
Mason ball. Oh, there's water in here. Wait a minute.
I don't know what to do with this.
Cheers. You make jellies and stuff in this, don't you? You can soups.
Cheers, my friend.
Happy hour. You hear the effervescence in the microphone. I love this microphone.
I told you when I got mine, you should get one.
And Omar did. I didn't have to. Omar cut this.
I know, and I told you, but no. When Nick says something that's totally right, nobody listens until somebody else tells them.
So salty. I know you've had a rough day, and I am sorry.
I got salt from
So
you. I
sorry.
got salt from work.
I didn't give anybody. I mean,
Oh, I got
Don got the
salt.
salt for me today with his crazy takes on stuff. Like,
Oh no, you salted me. You
did
salted
I?
me. You
About what?
salted me.
About your bad taste about Faith No More? Yes.
No, no,
That
about
was
my
yesterday.
review.
I didn't know where it was, and then I was so busy I didn't even get to post it. So that's
I
gonna be
said in our chat, sent.
well. What you
What I
did was
didn't
you
do
didn't
was
label
I
the
didn't.
subject of the
I know.
email.
I thought you knew because I said sent after
Here,
we've been talking
here's
about it.
something. Here's something you probably know. Like when you were in the thick of Glacially Musical, the heat of it, right? Beside this podcast, when you were doing the blog all the
Hmm.
time. If somebody emailed you with Glacially Musical
Oh,
subject, you don't see
I
it. And
know.
here's the bane of my existence. Photographers, I love you all. Ghost Cult is a volunteer operation. We make a little bit of money, not enough to pay anybody, including ourselves, just enough to put back into the company so we don't go under, just to keep it real. And then seriously though, like one of the funniest things is photographers will just send me a folder that says Ghost Cult with no labels, no bands labeled. No, I have to know who the band is. If they're not famous, it could be anybody, right? Could be just anybody. And the folder just says Ghost Cult. You know how many folders I have on my computer that say Ghost Cult? I don't know, 20,000.
If I could vent about one more thing, you watch Red Dwarf, right?
I did. Not all of it,
Okay.
but a lot of it, yeah.
The very beginning, he's like, "Why did you listen? Remember, why did you hate me? You hummed. I hummed maliciously." Okay, that's funny, right? No, it's not. It's not funny. Now that I work with a scrummer,
What's a scrummer?
a scream hummer, it's constant and atonal and loud. It's like she needs us to hear it.
Does she like, oh, I mean, like, is this person have mental illness? I'm not trying to be
I
mean.
don't know. I don't ever say anything because I'm worried that she does. So, but
Work
dealing with the
shooting.
scrummer is just awful. But so
I
let's get
didn't
to
know.
good
I
things.
didn't know what that. Compliance and liability. Please hold. Like how you do in the office space. Uh, hey Nick, do you have those TPS reports?
Fuck your TPS reports. And we got a brand new system at work at the day
Yeah.
job,
You
and
figured that out though.
mostly. I'm most of the way there. It's a little buggy. It's going to be great in about 18 months.
Nice.
Anywho, so I'm doing a twofer this week. So I said I wasn't gonna, but then I pulled out the one that was a twofer, and I didn't want it to be the only one. I wanted to be cool. So record one is because I am a tool and I'm not cool. Hey man, I'm uncool. Just just gobbledygook. Just
The only real currency between anybody is when you share something with someone else who's also uncool.
sticks, deuce.
Nice. They just announced a big tour today.
Yeah, okay. They're gonna.
Not excited at all. No excitement. Nick.
Is it sticks?
It's somebody.
It's
Tommy
it's
Shaw and a
it,
bunch of
it
guys.
it's Tommy Shaw, JY, and some kids from the neighborhood. They're fine. I mean, it's fine, but I'm not gonna. I just don't see myself going to the shed this year. I just don't see it. But on this one, it's got "Lady" and several other songs.
Did they get sued by Lionel Richie / Kenny Rogers for that song?
This was like 1973.
Oh, really? Okay. Then.
Yeah, this
I
is
don't
like
know.
way old. This is back when they were on Wooden Nickel Records, the most prestigious record label in that suburb of Chicago from 1972.
Wooden Nickel Records. You're
Dude,
so
it's what it's
silly.
called. It's what it's called.
It's what it says on the tin. It's what it does.
All right, and now I bought this one so my child cannot make fun of me anymore. Because my child and I went record shopping 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I've been getting made fun of about this by my child. We're flipping through records. I said she could buy one. She comes up and she shows me a record. And I go, "Oh, I want that." She goes, "They got another one." I go over and the other one's a 180 gram pressing of a 1967 record. And I don't want that. Everybody knows that listens to this show and watches the show. I don't want that. What do I want?
Japanese pressing.
Well, preferably, yes, but this would Japanese pressing this would probably be like $200. So I want original pressings. Booyah! The Doors, self-titled, still in shrink, actually. Don't know why. This is not a first pressing, but it's an OG pressing, so it's good enough. This is from, I believe this pressing is from the 70s. In the 70s, the Doors were the very first legacy band, I think, where they just kept re-releasing everything over and over. And of course, this is the one with the end, Light My Fire, Break On Through, and I think everybody in the world knows what's on this record and knows just how great it is. So that is my vinyl check for the week.
That, my friend, is splendiferous. That is a great vinyl check. We're going to be talking about some crazy 1960s records today. Some just absolutely bonkers shit. But I don't have any of those today. What do I have? I have a twofer, of course. One is a cool modern band. This is Where Myth Becomes Memory by Rolo Tomassi. Yes, named for the fictional villain of Hollywood Confidential, right? Or LA Confidential. This is pretty fantastic. This is a record from a couple of years ago. They have very briefly toured America. Kind of a progressive metal band capable of a lot of different things. Not unlike your Gingers. Double gatefold for 2 LBs. Nice artwork. Front artwork. Back artwork. It's a very lovely package.
That's a good looking package.
Yeah. 2 inner sleeves with lyrics and stuff.
Keefy's holding a good looking package.
Yeah, wow. Every time I look in the mirror, bud.
I hope you're watching, not listening. If you want to get the full effect,
got the hype sticker right here, and then
he puts the hype sticker on his package.
I put the hype sticker right on the package, and then these are.
I'm going to be going on like this for a while.
What is this? This is this like a cream swirly? What is this, man? It's like melon. Alabaster.
I don't know if that has a good name, but I would call that marble. It looks like marble.
It does look like marble, doesn't it? And then I'm going to surprise.
I don't have one that color, so yeah. Good on you.
Monday night at karaoke, just a segue for one quick second, I did a whole bunch of songs because it was pissing rain here and it was crowded and then it was dead. So the end of the night, the last 2 hours, it was just like 3 or 4 of us just singing over and over again. And so I got in a bunch of extra songs. I did I usually do an 80s song to start and then some metal and then some other things. And I got to the end of the night and I was like, oh, you want to do one more? And I was like, I'm going to do some musical theater to surprise people. So funny enough that I have something probably you would never have thought I would have, which is Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, Love for Sale, their duets album. Rest in peace, Tony Benedetto from Queens, who left his heart in San Francisco. T-Benz. So this is an incredible album, by the way. Lady Gaga, I'm waiting for her to do a metal record, but like this record is dope. And I had, I saw Tony Bennett in concert a few times. I have the duets albums. I think I was holding it. Technically, this is the correct orientation for the album. And again,
she is not going to do a metal record. Just don't.
She loves Iron Maiden and Priest. Those are her favorite bands. So I think she is.
That's great. She's still not going to do one.
Double gatefold, but only the single album. But the liner notes are very thick. I'm going to pull them out. Look at it. Oh, it's not liner notes. It's a one of these that I don't use.
Oh, old timey. That's like old timey stuff. Back when they used to like do things like artistic things with the slipcover.
Nothing.
That's cool.
Nothing really shocking on the set list, but I'm gonna on the track list. But I'm gonna read it off for you. It's Still Lovely, Night and Day, Love for Sale, Do I Love You, I Concentrate on You. So these are all Tony Bennett, and American Songbook songs, right? Not even Tony Bennett songs. I Get a Kick Out of You, So in Love, Let's Do It, Just One of Those Things, and Dream Dancing. So actually mostly not classic Tony Bennett material, but Tony and Gaga doing,
I like that. And, one of the things I've said recently on this show, I love collaborative albums.
I do. We do.
I love Joe Bonamassa and Beth Hart.
Yeah, Beth Hart is great.
Joe Bonamassa. Cruiser. I love Metallica and Lou Reed.
Terrible. And Joe Bonamassa is horribly overrated and is very self-important. I think he kind of sucks. He's actually very average as a guitar player, and he's a complete Trumpy douchebag. And I don't know why you
is he?
He sucks so bad. sucks incredibly bad. But we said most everybody, Hetfield, Mustaine, everybody we love is probably that voted for Trump. Anyway, here's the classic album, and again, kind of a very classic artwork on the label. Interscope Records put this out. This thing is dirty. I don't know when. I must have been handling this too much.
Did you clean it?
I mean, when it came.
Do you have a cleaner? What's your cleaner?
I don't have a cleaner. I just kind of do I have a hand towel that I don't use for anything else and distilled water.
I know it's not going on that towel, I hope.
No, that's the one towel not cummed in by me in this whole house. Except the towels for the guests are also not jizzed on, or I don't rub my balls.
Some of them, like one of them is.
No, just mine, not anybody. Anyone that's coming to my house, they might, what if they want to wash their face or their toes? I don't want it to like stink from balls.
For me, I would just do one. I would do one out of the whole thing, and just
one, and just see who gets it, like a random test.
Yeah. As for me loving Joe Bonamassa, I do not love him. I like him.
Yeah, Beth Hart,
he does not suck. He does not suck. He's just not
overrated.
nearly. He's very overrated, and he's also overpriced for his concert, which is why I've never seen him. He charges $150 because he won't play. He'll only play theaters for 3,500 people. So I have one of his live albums at Royal Albert Hall, and I've got his live album where he did all the British blues covers, which, I mean, that's just the most meta thing in the world. Featuring.
Make better choices. This is why I get.
No. I make the best choices. And just for the record, Kiddo and I are talking.
You just got a new camera.
Yeah, I got a new fucking camera.
There's so much tension in your face. You need you need Don here. Too bad you don't have your emotional support. Don is not here right now for you.
Where was I? Oh yeah, so the Kiddo and I are listening to Faith No More a lot this weekend, right? And
but she looks at me and she goes, the good records. You didn't listen to King for a Day or Sol Invicto.
May I finish?
You may.
Can I finish? Can I reclaim my time? The sanctity of my story.
Sanctity of my time.
So Kiddo and I are listen to Introduce Yourself, which is of course is the greatest one by far. It's not even close. Fuck you, I'll skate to the beach. I don't look better getting there. And we listen to The Real Thing. She's like, I can't believe you have this. And then she looks at me and she goes, King for a Day, I listened to it. It's not that good. I'm like, that's my kid. She also then goes on to tell my wife that I am in love with Jim Martin.
Kind of. I mean, I think that's accurate. When we did the series, you were, effusing a lot about his guitar style and playing.
He's amazing.
They really fucked him out of the band. And I think it was I'll be honest, I think it was him and Mike didn't vibe. And then Mike was coming in with like riffs and he's like, that's my job. And Bill also plays guitar and Billy Gould. And he, Jim was like, that's my job. Why are you taking my jobs?
Yeah, he's barely on Angel Dust.
He's not on it a lot. But like you hear his tone is that he played a lot. I don't think he wrote a lot. I think he played on every song. He didn't.
I don't think he's on it very much. Anyway, he's on it like Gene Simmons is on classic Kiss records.
Barely.
He's there, but he's not.
News check time.
News check. Okay, I got two news checks. First one is a little one. Second one's a big one.
Okay.
Speaking of Gene Simmons, it has been announced that Kiss is bringing back the Off the Soundboard series.
Why?
I am excited because I am a whore for live albums. I love live records.
They don't have any good ones.
You're going to say Alive isn't a good live record.
No, but Alive is not that much of a live album as much as it's a live album.
It's a live record.
Re-recorded it.
It says Alive.
I love Alive. I told you that I think Alive 2 is actually one of the best.
No, it's terrible.
Of the 70s.
No, it's terrible. Alive 2 is terrible. It's terrible. Alive is the greatest live album, not because it's a authentic recreation of a Kiss show, but because it's what you think a Kiss show was. They always talk about, we're so great live, we're so great live. No, you were some of the sloppiest motherfuckers on the planet.
Well, they were. Ace and Peter were fucking in the bag.
Oh, and Gene and Paul are sloppy too. It's always Gene forgets the words. I've got videos where Paul knocks over the microphone with his guitar.
He used to do it all the time. That's why he went to the Madonna, Bobby Brown, Girl You Know Not Girl You Know It's Just Milli Vanilli. My prerogative microphone.
These guys are sloppy players. It's just the reality of the situation. It's fine, whatever. But they don't say that. So when you listen to Alive, it sounds like you're actually there. the Soundboard series started off with Tokyo 1999, I believe it was, 90 something, late 90s. What was cool about that was it's the only recorded anything with Ace and Eric Singer. It was a very short run, so that was cool. Then they released Virginia Beach, 2005. And frankly, I think that is the worst thing Kiss has ever released. I cannot believe that thing made it out the door. It is that awful. The band is just so off that night. Then they did Donington. Donington 1996, the reunion tour. I did not buy this one or the previous. In fact, I only have Tokyo. Then they come out with, I think, Iowa City 1977. And I'm like, I don't need that. I've already got Alive and Alive 2. Then they come out with Poughkeepsie 1984. What's interesting about that one is it is the only full show Mark St. John played. Unfortunately, it's also terrible.
Yeah, well, not only is it terrible, it's a terrible place to do a recording because that venue, it's a like a college hockey arena. Poughkeepsie is like one of the poorest towns in upstate New York.
Yeah.
I used to go to concerts there at that arena. I saw Pantera there and Metallica there, and the sound in that place was terrible. And after we paid to see Metallica there, I was like, and it was like Pantera was skipped New York City and New Jersey for that tour, and they were doing like all the C markets. So it was like Poughkeepsie, blah blah blah, Rhode Island, and I was like, why
Was it
this
Quahog?
place? What?
Was it Quahog, Rhode Island?
It was not Quahog, it was Providence, but it was like all the B and C cities, and I was like, but it was like Pantera, Anthrax,
Is
and Cold
Poughkeepsie
Chamber.
even B or C? I would
It's
have
like a D. Yeah, it's like, sorry, Poughkeepsie. I mean, now, so there was a you've seen me wear the shirt. There's a club in Poughkeepsie called the Chance that was little.
Yeah, Ace Frehley played there a lot.
Ace just plays there a lot. Like there's still, it's gone now, but there was like it was a bastion for classic rock and thrash and hardcore bands. I saw a lot of people get punched in the teeth at hardcore shows there while I was cowering in the back trying not to get hurt. But yeah, you wouldn't make an album at that place. Even
well, this was a soundboard recording.
It's still going to be bad.
Yeah, it was recorded on
the
a cassette
soundboard
tape.
in a terrible venue is still going to make a bad sounding recording.
It was recorded on a cassette tape.
Oh God, they made
on
that
the soundboard,
and they mastered that for vinyl and put it out.
Yes, and the best part is like the one song on there that they never played live any other time, "Young and Wasted." 2/3 of it's missing because they had to flip the tape over. It took that long to flip the tape over. So I didn't buy that.
That's embarrassing. They shouldn't be
embarrassing.
putting. They. I know that there's a segment of Kiss fans that will
What
buy
I
everything.
want, I don't buy everything. I'm not one of those people. What I want a live document of every version of the band.
Even the horrible ones.
Yes, even the horrible ones.
You
What do
are
you call horrible?
Nick Cameron, I love you, but you are a strange fig of a man. I have no idea what you're doing. Make better choices. Make better choices.
But what I desperately want is a Hot in the Shade tour.
No, absolutely
Yes.
no one wants
What?
this. You're the only one. No one is asking.
I'm not the only one. Hot in the Shade was amazing. Not the album. The album was terrible. The album is the worst thing they ever released. It should have been a 7-inch with Forever on the side A and Rise to It on side B and just throw the other 14 away.
I think I just sharded because you said Hot in the Shade was great.
The tour. Have you never watched one of the concerts from the tour? It's amazing.
No, I know.
Truly amazing. Bruce Kulick on that tour was on fire. He had this kick-ass
I was
Les
listening
Paul
to like
special.
Sepultura and Metallica and Anthrax in '89. Not that shit.
Eat your own butt. So
I would if I could, but I can't. Too round. Can't get back there. Neck is not.
you know
long.
what? You have a goal now.
I know, right? You got to have goals.
Manifest your goals.
Man up. Vision.
So
Do a vision board of me eating my
I
own.
want that. I would also love a legitimate revenge show.
That I
want. There's a lot of. I mean, I don't really want any of the Vinnie Vincent Eric Carr shows because Vinnie Vincent just was terrible. I've had bootlegs from the Lick It Up tour, and I couldn't tell what song it was until the chorus every time.
You should be ashamed. You know they were going to be bad when you bought it. You know it was going to be bad.
I didn't buy it. I traded for it.
That's the police coming to take you away. That's the garbage truck backing up for your taste in music.
Okay, so now
you led this segment with Kiss and not the Black Sabbath story. I'm The mind boggles, sir.
I didn't think we were
Continue.
going to be talking about it this long. I didn't think you were going to fight me on
Well,
my joy. You're fighting me on my joy
I am sorry.
of strange ass live records.
I'll go stand in the corner and come in a t-shirt if that'll make you feel better. This is a very soft shirt.
No. Go to the go. No, you go, and you don't come in the t-shirt, and you hold the t-shirt.
Edge into the t-shirt and don't nut. Yeah, well, no nut February.
No, fuck that. Valentine's Day is my date anniversary, so fuck. Anyway, to couple that, the bad Kiss news.
Couple. Oh, there's bad Kiss news. That wasn't it. You walked right into that one, pal. It's not my fault. You brought me here. Go ahead.
That was 4 years ago. Come on, get right with this. I don't know, something. Man, God, we have really been doing this for a long ass time. Anyway, they're also going to release 2 box sets this year. I have not purchased a single one of their box sets because all it is a bunch of crap. Like in the Destroyer box set, the live show they released with it was Paris 1976, which was an audience recording. How you put that out with a straight face and don't think to yourself, what a piece of shit I am. And it was $300. It was only CDs. Then they put out just, then they did, and it's mostly just about the trinkets they throw in there, so I don't care. So they're going to have 2 of those. I don't give 2 craps. Now, the other show, there is a bit of a show that's happening in Birmingham, England, not Birmingham, Alabama. Now, let me see if you've heard of any of these people, okay? I'm going to go bottom up. Mastodon, Anthrax, Lamb of God, Hailstorm, Alice in Chains, Gojira, Pantera, Slayer, Metallica, and Black Sabbath. The original members of Black Sabbath are reuniting for what's likely going to be the greatest train wreck of a live show of all time. Because it's all 4 members. Now, Bill Ward hasn't played the drums since 1999. Which is longer than it had been since he had played the drums in 1999. This is going to be terrible. I hope to God that Bill is at least walking at the YMCA or whatever they have over there. You know,
Bill is not my concern. So first and foremost,
the dude had a heart attack
several
25 years ago.
Several heart attacks
because they rehearsed a Black Sabbath set.
I know. Listen,
the fastest Black Sabbath goes is
Bill Ward is the 3rd healthiest person in Black Sabbath. First and foremost, you're losing the plot entirely. First of all, I hope Bill got paid already because they're definitely going to fuck him over again if he didn't. I hope he got a check.
This is a charity show. It's a charity show.
Yeah, but they're getting paid. They're not getting paid. Proceeds are going to the charity. That doesn't mean the net. You know what I'm saying? The gross and the net. Anyway.
Okay, corporate Keefy.
I was told that I'm very cynical about this. You have heard me go on the record many times about this. I don't want Ozzy to perform if he sucks or old.
Correct.
I don't want him in a chair. He cannot stand. He's going to do solo Ozzy stuff and Black Sabbath.
I did not realize that.
Oh, that's performances from Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, Gojira, Hailstorm, Alice in Chains, and then additional performances from members of other bands: Billy Corgan, David Draymond, Duff McKagan, Fred Durst, Lizzie Hale, Jackie Lee. So like an all-star jam covers, probably. Jonathan Davis, KK Downing. Very Mike glaring Gordon. Omission. No Judas Priest because they have KK, but no Judas Priest and no Megadeth.
I'm going to point out, Mike Borden is in that list.
Well, he was in Ozzy's band for a very long time. I don't know if you know that.
After you know what else he was in?
He was in Faith No More.
You know what else he was in?
What else was he in?
Black Ass Sabbath.
Well, technically, yes.
In 1997, he toured as the drummer of Black Sabbath.
I saw them, I know, twice. I saw them twice, I know.
I saw them.
The new Papa from Ghost, Rudy Sarzo, Sammy Hagar, Y, Sleep Tokens.
Yeah, I'll give you a Y. I'll give you a Y on that one.
Sleep Token singer Tom Morello and Wolfie Van Halen. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to get a mini sets from those main bands' performances from. I think you will get like half a set from Black Sabbath original guys. I think you will get half a set from Ozzy with guests. Ozzy's going to be in a chair. It's going to be sad as fuck. Maybe he can sing. Maybe it's on tape. I don't know. The tickets are going to be astronomical, like $400 or $500 a ticket, I'm sure. I'd love to go just to say I was there, but I can't really see myself getting there.
I have no interest in seeing the final show of anyone.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know people
I thought
do.
I saw what was the last Slayer show, and it was amazing. I feel like we've seen the last Metallica show we're going to see, unless I can get out there this year. But I'm happy with what I saw.
I think that is. You know what? No. I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go one more time around the sun.
On this record or a new record?
New record.
That's 2 years.
They've been talking a lot about writing. I think they're gonna
Unless they've been doing it on the sly right now.
They did it before.
They did do it before. It totally, completely shocked me. Yeah. Well. Slayer, no surprise. That means Slayer's gonna announce they're not gonna just go to England to play this show. They're gonna play Europe this summer, which is what I had predicted anyway.
They're gonna do festivals.
Yeah, I said that. And Pantera had been like, we're not doing anything else after this Metallica run. Clearly they are.
Yeah, you know what happens when people throw bucks at you and you're
a lot of money.
Because one of the things, like, okay, I'm going to piggyback on that just a little bit. Jerry Cantrell is playing St. Louis in 3 weeks.
Yes.
I don't think we're going.
Yeah.
I don't care either way. I've seen him, not that great, but he's playing at a place that nobody's even heard of. It's a wedding venue.
Yeah, same. He's playing little spaces on purpose, but he's doing it on purpose. He wanted to play intimate places.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not saying that was the only thing.
Theater and sell.
Yeah, he could play the Fox. He could play. I mean, he could easily play.
Yeah. But
when he plays as Alice in Chains in St. Louis, he plays the 20,000 seater.
Yeah. You welcome to check me on this. I'm happy for them to get closure with Bill. I'm happy for Ozzy to fulfill his wishes and do one last final show in his life. Geezer, I'm retired. Iommi, every 6 months, the doctor gives him another 6 months to live. I love those guys. I
went to the doctor. He gave him 6 months. Couldn't pay his bill. Gave him another 6 months.
I love this crowd.
Hey,
take my wife, please.
Please.
She said, you never take me anywhere. Take me somewhere I've never been before. How about the kitchen?
Oh, I love this crowd. Can I finish my point? I'm sorry.
Oh.
So with Pantera, yeah, I've seen Rex and Phil. Well, Rex and Phil play clubs without Pantera. With Pantera, they play, actual money. So somebody's going to throw some bucks at them, and Zach Sabbath is playing clubs. So you know what? It's like El Monstero, the Pink Floyd tribute band here. Those dudes play 15 Pink Floyd shows a year, so they can do everything else. And I get that.
I have a fun segue for you also when you're done. Funny enough, I don't see Zakk Wylde's name on here at all. And it's possible that he's part of Ozzy's band, but it's also possible he's not invited, which would be fucked. I can't imagine he's not going to play, but he's not listed here.
Friend of the show, Danny Nichols, said the Zach Sabbath show was amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to go. And actually, I had it wrong. The current member, the official Zach Sabbath members that record with Zach were not there. It's the two guys from Black Label Society. So it's basically Black Label Society minus one guitar player doing Black Sabbath with Zach, which, I'm not mad at. Do you have anything else, or do you want to debate me anymore about this? This is not going to be good.
It's going to be absolutely terrible. Let me say this though:
probably be live streamed or on demand, Veeps or something.
I'm not going to pay for this.
I would.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
But you know what? I'm glad to see that Black Sabbath is getting the Freddie Mercury treatment.
Well, Freddie didn't get the treatment until he was dead.
Yeah, I know. I feel
want to
like
celebrate people while they're alive, not when they're dead.
Right, and they're getting the Freddie Mercury treatment while alive.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, somehow Zach is not included in this. That's kind of sad.
Well, I mean, it's not like Zach has any kind of history with Ozzy or Sabbath.
Not that much. Only since he's 19. Segue, since you brought up Pink Floyd, because we can't help ourselves. Did you know the world's greatest Pink Floyd tribute band is coming on a world tour and playing Wish You Were Here?
Which band is that?
Guess where they're not playing?
St. Louis.
And they're not playing St. Louis, but
of course
every
not.
other city.
Why would you play St. Louis?
Because they hate you.
Everybody hates us. You talk about Poughkeepsie being a D-level era. St. Louis 10 years ago was an A market. We have been downgraded to B-, and I am pissed off.
Yeah, it seems so. Britt
Except Metallica.
Floyd.
Britt Floyd.
Yeah, they have the inflatables, they have the laser lights. In the Europe tour, Roger Waters' son is going to tour with them on keyboards and vocals. He was fired from his dad's band. I don't know why. For Jonathan
And
Cain.
Roger is colder than Steve Harris.
But he still defends his dad a lot in the press. And then in the USA, Alan Parsons will be touring with them and opening also.
Wait, the Alan Parsons project is going to be opening up for a Pink Floyd tribute band?
And then playing with them.
Oh, okay.
I think that's kind of neat. I don't think that's bad. I mean, he's not any bigger than they are. And they're going to play. They're playing amphitheaters. Britt Floyd is selling like 10,000 tickets a show themselves. Yeah, more. Yeah,
it's when I saw El Monstero with John Anderson and the Kids from the Neighborhood opening up for him.
John Anderson of Yes.
Yeah.
What a cunt he is. Anyway, your heroes, don't meet them or have any interactions with them.
No. You know what's great about listening to Pantera? I can believe that Pantera is still, that Phil Anselmo is still the guy that wrote No Good Attack the Radical.
I mean, both things can be true. He also hasn't had I'm not defending what his past actions are that are unforgivable, but he hasn't
had one in a minute.
9 years. So 9 years ago, exactly. So at a certain point, we got to learn to forgive. He didn't murder anyone. He didn't do an essay on anyone.
And you know what? I can still believe that Roger Waters is the dude that wrote Animals.
Yeah.
And still that guy, not this twisted freak of a more machine than man Sith Lord.
So Britt Floyd, super interesting. And then former podcast subject Baroness today announced a bunch of tours for the rest of the world. They're still touring behind that record from a year and a half ago. And they are doing
great record.
They are doing the Red and Blue tour where they will play all of Red and Blue live.
Are they old enough for that?
I mean, Red is 2007 and Blue is 2010. It's 15 years and 17 years. Why not?
Let me think. When King Diamond started redoing Abigail. Yeah, about that. It was
And King Diamond has 10 songs written for the next King Diamond record, and Merciful Fate still in progress.
Put the shit out.
Yeah,
quit yapping. You haven't had a record since 07, which was your best record that you didn't tour behind because you had 5 consecutive heart attacks.
He wasn't well. And he had back problems also. So
I know.
Be nice to King Diamond.
I'm being silly.
King Diamond, the guy, is way superior than King Diamond, the catalog. So let's show respect and love.
I love him.
King Diamond and Merciful Fate combined have about 4 good records. And that's it. I'll go die on that.
Wait, what?
King Diamond and Merciful Fate have combined 4 or 5 total good records. You know it. We did them all. They're terrible.
No, we did the 90s.
We did most of them. They're bad.
You know what we didn't do, though?
What? 80s?
The aughts.
Oh, God, no. I have no interest in that. Come on.
King Diamond only had 2 records.
We're going to do Clutch before we do King Diamond again. God.
He had Puppet Master, which was amazing.
It's okay.
And for some reason, Lawyer Wife does not want to listen to that at Christmas time.
No.
She's like, let's listen to Christmas carols. King Diamond Christmas concept record. She's like, not that one. Okay. And then he did Give Me Your Soul, Please, which is really good.
Yeah, very good. Nick's going to get divorced if he tries to push this agenda.
I stopped.
I don't have any other real pressing news except to say it's Black History Month, and we have a current administration trying to whitewash all of American history. And Omar Cuttis. May I?
Go ahead, yes.
This is important. Omar Cuttis wrote and crafted a really great feature piece on GhostCultMag.com that you can go check out right now about essential Black creators. It was supposed to be a top 10 list, but it's like 25 artists and bands. Pretty fucking comprehensive, to be honest.
He pulled a Danny Nichols.
He did pull a Danny Nichols. Do you want an EP? Here's a deluxe box set. Oh, and I guess let's talk about last thing and then into the meat, t-shirts and then meat. Rush has announced for some fucking god unknown reason, they've just been doing vinyl reissues, right? Including Don's beloved and my beloved Presto and Roll the Bones. But for some reason, they're putting out like a
Somebody wanted Roll the Bones.
You know, he's got 2 thumbs and wants to roll the bones. This guy.
Wow.
I love that record. And Presto. Don't give a shit.
I didn't know anybody loved that record, even Rush's moms.
Only Keith and Rush's moms. Rush is putting out a comprehensive 11 CD box set of their whole career. I'm not sure why, but they are. So if you don't have any rush, now's a good time to go get some.
Here's why. See what I'm doing with my fingers? This is the money symbol.
Yes.
Somebody went to them and said, "Hey, Alex, do you want to get a mansion in Vancouver?"
Mm.
I can make that happen.
Next week, we will probably discuss Two Old Men Yelling at a Cloud, Rick Beato and Bob Lefsetz. And I believe we're going to get the Record Store Day main April list soon. So we'll have to do a whole run through of that.
Like a real one?
Stop being hypocrites about it every year. We're going to actually do the list and then go buy stuff and brag about it.
No, we're gonna do the list. We can do an episode on the entire list.
No, and then go buy,
and then talk about how it's terrible. This sucks.
I'm so glad I bought these 3 things I can't afford. Thank God they had that Rage Against the Machine live record I didn't have.
Hey,
ever.
I've only got about 30 Record Store Day records. Okay,
I have like 100. Not kidding. What's your shirt today, Nick?
Gene's Place Dive Bar in Pittsburgh.
Oh, cool. Is that your shirt of the month club?
Yes, it is.
You know, lawyer wife.
Look at that.
Stand up for it. Wow.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh, John. Wait, no, that's not what they say. That no, John is. That's Phila. That's Philadelphia.
I've never been. I've never been to Pittsburgh. Is it nice?
My grandmother was from Pittsburgh. My mother lived there for a time. I've been to Pittsburgh several times. It is if you like St. Louis and Buffalo, you're going to love Pittsburgh.
Okay, fair enough. Surprise, Misfits.
I've heard of them.
They might have a song or two that's pretty catchy. Danny Nichols' pick for 1983, if I'm not mistaken, was "Walk Among Us" in the top albums of every year of the 80s. We've
talked about Danny a lot.
We love Danny. We love Don, Nick's emotional support, Don, and yeah. I mean, you got to admit that he is.
Hey, we got some cool friends.
Let's talk about this album, Piper.
Let's talk about 1960 goddamn 7.
Yep, I got the records pulled up, but you tell us about the year, my friend.
1967 is the last time Bob Gibson won the World Series. The year before, he kicked ass and took everybody's name and wrote it down, and then threw it at their head, because that's what he did. He was still kicking ass and taking names. He just didn't set all the records till the year after.
Did he? Did they lose to? Did the Reds became good and the Cardinals kind of dipped, and that's why the Reds got a bunch of World Series?
The Reds got good like a couple years after the Cardinals were.
Okay.
So the Cardinals were the team of the 60s. The Reds were the team of the 70s.
I think you're forgetting the Yankees, but yeah, not wrong. But yeah,
I'm sorry. American League Baseball doesn't count. It's the junior circuit.
Oh, get out of here, you.
You're right. It doesn't matter because you know what? I was talking with my buddy Mike about this today. All sports, except basketball, who has stayed true to what they are, a ridiculous, freaked out score fest. All the other sports have given up all their soul in order to be like that. Football is no longer football. Football is now arena football. Hockey, every hockey team is the exact same fucking team. Baseball, it used to be cool that we had 2 leagues with different rules, one superior, one inferior. Of course, the National League over the American League. And now they're the same goddamn thing. And it's stupid. Athletes should not be made into rock stars. They should just be athletes. You know, we had way cooler personalities back when Oil Can Boyd, Dave the Hammer Schultz, Ed Too Tall Jones. What do we got now? Travis Tay-Tay's husband, Kelsey? Doesn't even have the nickname. Tay-Tay's the fucking rock star. 1967. Things were still cool and awful at the same time. You know, two things can exist at the same time. 1967 is when the Vietnam War really gets serious in America. It stops being the brush fire. It has gone on for years, and we're still there. Lyndon B. Johnson is about to withdraw from the presidential race. That worked out well. So let's not do that, incumbents, Democratic incumbents. Let's not pull out of the race. So it's a weird time. We are now getting into psychedelic music. The record I checked today was a 1967 record. The Doors, the self-titled Doors. Jimi Hendrix So we have Jimi Hendrix, we have Big Brother and the Holding Company, we have Jefferson Airplane, we have The Doors, and we also have Pink Floyd. And the world changed.
Summer of Love. Summer of Love. Summer of Love was
Summer of Love was it 67?
67.
Oh, well.
I think it's very evident, and we're gonna definitely touch on it on the record, but I think it's very evident that
we're gonna touch ourselves, yeah.
Well, we are doing Pink Floyd, of course. I think it's evident that the influence of psychedelia, to quote Duncan Evans from the Department of Metal Antiquities, and Duncan.
Good God, we are name dropping people.
Weeping Starlight and GhostCultMag.com.
We're not even name dropping famous people.
I normally we do the check, right? Like, I know you have like half of these records, right? And I'm gonna run through the list. I did find like a website that does every year the top 100 records of every year, and their rankings are superfluous, but that they have the list and it's comprehensive is incredible. But I think like not only do you have half of these, and I probably have a third of these, I'm gonna guess that like more than half of these would be considered psychedelic rock records, just because.
Well, I mean, probably. Go ahead, hit it, baby.
And there's many with 2 in the same year, which normally I would shit on, but not this time. In the 80s, definitely a foul. In the 60s and 70s, it was kind of par for the course. De rigueur is the expression, no? N'est-ce pas?
I don't speak French. Ne me décharge pas. Je suis canadien. Où est l'autobus?
More French.
Don't shoot me. I'm Canadian. And where's the bus stop?
Exactly. In no particular order, are you experienced Jimi Hendrix?
Got.
Self-titled Doors album.
Got. Obviously.
Younger Than Yesterday, The Byrds.
Nope.
Highly influential. Disraeli Gears by Cream.
Oh, got that.
About to break up.
No, they got one more album before break up.
Well, about to break up.
Where's it 2? No, it's 2 more records. That was their second. They have 4.
Strange Days, also by The Doors.
Got that.
My favorite record from this entire year, Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues.
No, I have a different one.
Safe as Milk, Captain Beefheart.
Good title.
Wild Honey by the Beach Boys.
Great title.
Easter Everywhere by the massively underrated and cult favorite 13th Floor Elevators, a.k.a. Rocky Erickson.
You're speaking words I don't know.
That's a DMA record for you.
No, it isn't.
Reach Out by the Four Tops.
Not psychedelic rock, that's for sure.
There's some R&B and soul in here also, and it's phenomenal. All of them.
Yeah,
every single one's a banger.
R&B and soul were really big at the time.
Yeah, Motown and Stax and Detroit. King and Queen, Carla Thomas and Otis Redding. This is right before he dies. Terribly. Cold Sweat, James Brown. Get up. Hey, get on up.
Too hot in the hot tub.
Hot tub. Born Under a Bad Sign, Albert King.
Oh my! That's where Paul Stanley heard the phrase "love gun."
Yeah,
and that's where Led Zeppelin heard all of Led Zeppelin too.
Yes, Headquarters, the Monkees.
Oh, great record.
Omar Cordy's
got that one. I got
favorite band ever. Francis Albert Sinatra and his band, Frank Sinatra.
Nope, don't have that.
Big Brother and the Holding Company, self-titled.
Got that. Listened to it 2 days ago.
Yeah, The Grateful Dead, self-titled. I'm all set, bro. Sorry, Don. Forever Changes by Love. Yet another Jimi Hendrix, Axis, Bold as Love.
Don't have that. I've never owned that in any form.
It's a great fucking album. Surrealistic Pillow, Jefferson Airplane.
Oh, what a record. We have 2 copies of that in this house.
I've Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You, Aretha Franklin. The Who, Sell Out.
Great cover.
Great cover?
Yeah, it's a cool cover.
I don't think so.
I've never heard that album.
Okay. Magical Mystery Tour, the Beatles. I don't know if the Beatles movie soundtracks count as albums. I don't know. We have to discuss it.
That counts because if more really counts, it may count.
It doesn't have new songs on it though.
Oh, it doesn't?
I don't think so.
I thought it did. I am not a Beatles historian or honestly fan. So
late controversial album Smiley Smile by the Beach Boys because they had abandoned Smile until 50 years later. We didn't talk about the Grammys at all, but that's okay. Gojira. Their Satanic Majesty's request, the Rolling Stones.
Got that in Chicago last year when I was seeing the Rolling Stones.
Hackney Diamonds also won 2 Grammys. Crazy. I don't understand how. But
That's
anyway.
a good record.
Over current bands doesn't make sense. A record I heard a lot as a child, Absolutely Free, The Mothers of Invention.
I have not heard any old-timey Frank Zappa.
Yeah. Electric Music for the Mind and Body, Country Joe and the Fish.
I have only heard the couple songs he has on the Woodstock record.
Trip the Light Fandango, Procol Harum, self-titled, a.k.a. the album with Whiter Shade of Pale.
I really need to look into them and actually give them an honest try.
Evolution by the Hollies.
Sid Barrett was a big fan of Procol Harum.
He was. Tim Hardin 2 by Tim Hardin, very underrated.
Don't know him.
Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited by the Monkees.
I don't have that one.
Below,
the Monkees put out a lot of records in that
put out
run.
many records a year for like 10 years. Below in Your Mind, exclamation point, by the overrated and shitty Van Morrison, even though Brown Eyed Girl is on that record.
Wait, he's that old?
He's that old. Fuck him.
Wow.
Anyway, I hope he has diarrhea for the rest of his life with no toilet paper. Mellow Yellow by Donovan.
I like Donovan in that Futurama episode. I did not realize he had put out 8,000 records when I saw that.
Season of the Witch is awesome. Anyway.
That's him?
Yes. Moby Grape, self-titled.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the rest of the records. Piper at the Gates of Dawn, we already know. It's coming up in a second. Velvet Underground and Nico.
God, I need that so hard and so
I'm
long.
shocked you don't have it. I have it. You don't have it.
I haven't come across a press I want.
Okay, fine. Something Else by the Kinks.
I also don't buy that many mail order anymore unless it's new.
Something Else by the Kinks. The Kinks.
Don't have.
Buffalo Springfield Again, which I think has Rick James on bass. Buffalo Springfield.
I need to give them a better try now that I can stand Neil Young.
John Wesley Harding, Bob Dylan. Great album. I don't know this one. Between the Buttons, the Rolling Stones. No recollection.
The Rolling Stones have 247 albums.
That's also true. 85 albums, technically. Songs of Leonard Cohen, the debut album by Leonard Cohen. Phenomenal. That guy was way ahead of his time. Goodbye and Hello by Tim Buckley.
Tim Buck-3?
Tim Buckley.
Oh.
Mr. Fantasy, back in the public persona and zeitgeist by Traffic, featuring Steve Winwood, right before whatever that record is with Clapton and him.
They have more than one album?
Blind Faith. They have several.
I didn't know that.
Also forgettable, After Bathing at Baxter's, Jefferson Airplane.
I have that. It's an album.
Almost done. Bee Gees First by the Bee Gees, which is not their first record. It's just called Bee Gees First.
And it was before the Bee Gees were the Bee Gees back then. I think they were Australian country.
Australian country Beatles. Butterfly by the Hollies. Miles Smiles by Miles Davis, an album my mother had.
My God, there are so many records this year.
Wave by Carlos Jobim. Antonio Carlos Jobim. Chelsea Girl by Nico.
She had albums on her own?
Many. United, Marvin Gaye. We also didn't talk about Rip, Marianne Faithfull. And Flowers by Rolling Stone. Again, no recollection. Zero.
Again, they have 247 albums. They have more albums than there were people in Spinal Tap.
Fair enough. Let us do Piper at the Gates of Dawn.
All right, let's talk about this.
But that's just frank. Like, look at the year that this record came out in, and all these things. There's so many. Like, you could just buy all these records, and it would be somebody's whole collection. Would just be 67.
What's interesting about this year is there are 4 really strong debut records.
I mean, there's probably like 10 of them.
Just that I know of. Like,
and I don't like the Grateful Dead, and I don't like some of these bands. But yeah.
You have the Doors, you have Jefferson Airplane, you have Velvet Underground, and there was another
Hendrix.
one. And Hendrix. My God, how did I forget that? So you have 4 powerhouse debut records of legendary bands.
Yeah, not to mention Moody Blues' second album is Unfuckwithable, one of the top tier Stones records of the 60s.
Which one? Satanic Majesty?
It's pretty great, no?
You're high.
I'm not high. Smiley Smile is solid.
It was a great year for music,
Yeah,
regardless.
John Wesley Harding, Leonard Cohen, Aretha, Otis, and Carla Thomas. I mean, Velvet Underground. These are all unbelievable records.
Yeah, completely. So, yeah.
Yeah, Velvet Underground is technically their debut also.
Yeah, that's what I said, Velvet Underground.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
How do you remotely get your head above water with all this? This year is a wash in quality. Wow, man.
I think that's not accurate. A wash means it sucks. It's like a waste. I think you mean the opposite. It's a wash in quality, not of quality. No?
Covered or flooded with water, containing large numbers or amounts.
Destroyed.
Containing large numbers or amounts of someone or something. A wash in quality is a perfectly cromulent phrase that embiggens the smallest man.
I only like the planet Crom from Conan the Barbarian.
No, it was the god Crom.
Oh, sorry.
Crom, either you help me or I do it myself. And to hell with you.
Cromulent. Anyway, go on.
So,
shut up.
Oh, you've ruined everything. I'm not saying I didn't prepare anything. I'm saying you ruined it. So this year is crazy. But let's just focus on Pink Floyd. They started in roughly 62, and they went through all kinds of changes. When we're getting to the point of this album, they have already released about 6 or 7 singles, and they released non-album singles literally the week before this is released. See Emily Play and Paintbox, I believe, are like roundabout before this album is released, which is completely insane to me. Why would you do that? Because England, I guess, that's why. So here's where it gets weird. This record is, last week when we discussed the Masters of Rock or Best of Pink Floyd, prehistoric singles of Pink Floyd, most of which aren't that great, if we're being completely honest. They weren't psychedelic. They were off-kilter Beatles. They were like 1966 Beatles, but gone wrong. So now...
The Garbage Pail Beatles.
Oh, that's a great... Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, they're the Beatles. They're the Beatles.
I just made that up.
They're the Russian Beatles. They are the Soviet Beatles.
Worker and Parasite. Because we can't afford Itchy and Scratchy.
What the hell was that? God, I love Worker and Parasite. So, they've got these like crazy songs, Arnold Lane and Scarecrow and Paintbox and Apples and Oranges, and good Lord, if anybody can tell me what the fuck that thing is, I'm waiting to hear. Well, around this time, they start really investing in their stage show. They're playing all these shows at, I believe it's called the UFO Club. Not UFO, but UFO. And at the UFO Club, people like Paul McCartney and Mick Jagger are attending these shows to see this up-and-coming band. And all of a sudden, they start doing the squiggly saliva stuff on the back, and this is when Pink Floyd goes from Sid and his friends into Pink Floyd. Because, and I don't mean that derogatorily or anything like that. In the 50s and early 60s, the lead singer was the band. In every band. If you listen to live recordings of the Doors.
Except the Beatles.
Except the Beatles, correct. And if you listen to live recordings of the Doors, you will hear them screaming, "We want Jim Morrison. We want Jim Morrison." The Doors were an afterthought. Well, Jim Morrison isn't nearly as great without those 3 dudes. That just wasn't a thing. Bands were still new in the 60s. It wasn't, when I say bands, I don't mean because the band was Bob Dylan's band. It was Bob Dylan and the band. So when they went out with him, they just became the band. All, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Huey Lewis and the News, Tom Petty and the Harp. This was like normal in the 50s and 60s. In fact, it was really abnormal to be the Doors. You have the Jimi Hendrix Experience, even Big Brother and the Holding Company. And when they start doing this psychedelic set, it stops being it stops being Sid and Friends, and it becomes the Pink Floyd. And the music becomes the star. And immediately they change who they were. Apples and Oranges gives way to Interstellar Overdrive. And now we're, yes, we've still got Sid's crazy little wobblies or whatever you want. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to call Sid's crazy ass little pop tunes. Like psychedelic, it's like psychedelic Beatles pop before.
I think it's actually like he invented, maybe he didn't invent it, but he really like it mainstreamed avant-garde. Avant-garde was like a jazz thing, and music concrete, musique, concrete.
Oh my, we're getting fancy as
fancy
shit.
Fucking shit today. Musicology 101 is coming out of me. And
bust out some theory, bitch.
Power, talk H, and things like that. Let's do like a jazz band will come out with no music and just be like chaka, 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 not like the soundtrack to Guardians of the Galaxy, but like extra musical things that are not instruments traditionally played. And so I think there's like a performance art, there's avant-garde, there's a little psychedelia, pickle, and then there's
a stage show. With a stage show.
Have you ever seen a lava lamp? Imagine if a lava lamp was an entire Walmart size lava lamp. That's what the show looked like, a liquid laser light show with no lasers.
With fog, and all you could see were silhouettes of this band. When you would see Sid singing, he would be in these like puffy pirate shirts.
And kind of everybody had a puffy pirate shirt in 1967, dude. Like frilly was a thing.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of frills and fringe and fluff. We talked last week about the London scene, right? Like they're entrenched in this scene. They are, and maybe even the leaders of it. Sid might have like unreluctantly become like a figurehead of something he didn't want to be involved in. He didn't want to have any kind of cult of personality. It was like
what's strange about this whole time is Pink Floyd on just singles and concerts at UFO are getting mainstream press,
and also they're getting bootlegged, and they're bootleg because they're jams. These songs, we're going to talk next week about the live thing. These songs are
2 weeks.
Some of them, right, 2 weeks. Some of them are amazing, but realistically, what they were doing with them live is what was really became the band we know now.
Right, because if you think about Pink Floyd, you don't think about 2.5, 3 minute pop songs. You think about these long, extended excursions, really. I mean, they are the road trip. They're the road trip band. I listen to Pink Floyd whenever I am dealing with, like, physical pain because I can get lost in it. When I go get massages, I need them to go in and really beat the crap out of me. So I say, play Pink Floyd. When I got my vasectomy, I listened to The Wall as they were cutting me in the dingleberries. Not kidding. True story.
Because the dingleberries, I thought they cut you in the belly. Like the abdomen.
Fuck?
The abdomen?
No.
They cut your nads.
Do you know what a vasectomy is?
I know what it is, but like I don't.
Do you?
I don't know biology.
It's really.
I was elected to lead, not to read.
It really sounds like you're talking about an appendectomy.
Oh, maybe. I have my gallbladder out. It's not the same thing.
A vasectomy is when they open up your nutsack.
Okay.
And cut your vas deferens.
Yeah, I'm good.
Seal them off, and put you back together.
All right, I'm good.
It's really painful, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Nope.
So, when I was done,
there's going to be like a male contraceptive soon, and we just won't need that anymore.
I'm already snipped. It's fine. And when I was done, I went home and took opioid painkillers, drank 10% IPAs, and listened to Pink Floyd Pulse.
Mix painkillers and IPAs. That's bad for you, bro.
I'm here.
By the grace of Sid.
Where were we? So
Amtrak.
Fuck it. Let's just do the record.
My fault.
Let's just
anything poetic Nick had to say today, I just wrecked. I'm sorry.
You ever heard this record?
I've heard quite a bit in my life.
Really? Have you heard the fucking record?
Have you got
Name
it?
8 Pink Floyds.
Guy Pratt, Snowy White. Oh,
Fuck
sorry.
Pink. No, fuck Guy Pratt.
No, don't fuck.
Actually, don't. I mean, Guy
I mean,
Pratt.
I would. I think Guy
He's a,
Pratt's lovely.
he is a treasure.
Oh, and Power Mullet is also going to be touring with Britt Floyd.
Oh,
Your
good.
Scott Page, right?
Scott Page. Yeah, he used to. He followed me on Twitter. I
but
don't know what
not
the
but not
fuck
coming
I
to
did.
St. Louis because they don't like you.
No. What does St. Louis know about Pink Floyd? Nothing.
Nothing. Just you. Do you want to do the track listing or I?
Let's start off with. It starts off with. Well, you know, before we get to that, let's discuss. We didn't discuss the cover. We really should discuss.
We should discuss. Okay, sure. Hypnosis, right?
Yeah, it is not Hypnosis.
It's not Hypnosis.
This is Pre-Gnosis.
Oh, is this Pre-Gnosis? This is
Pre-Gnosis.
Sid.
Yeah. So, like a dude they know got a prism lens for his camera, and that's how they did this. So they've got like this psychedelic cover. Rick and Sid are wearing these like paisley wackadoodle outfits with scarves. Rick is in a crushed velvet coat, and Roger Waters fucking hates this. You look at it, Roger's like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate all of this.
He never smiles, Roger.
What?
He doesn't smile ever.
This is not a not smile. That he could have been impassive. He is looking at you in the most English way possible, saying, have you got it yet? This is I think this is the genesis of have you got it yet? So they're in this psychedelic crazy outfit. They look like they just walked out of the monkey's head. And only one of them looks right in it, and it's Sid. And which is really strange because Sid's not even psychedelic, musically speaking. He's off-kilter pop. The other 3 dudes are the psychedelic dudes. Sid's the only one that does any psychedelic drugs. Nick Mason said in his book many times, they called us a drug band, but nobody ever gave me any. And Roger's Roger, and Rick's a legitimate musician at this point. So you've got Nutjob, Dickface, Timekeep, and legit musician. Dressed up like assholes.
I mean, they were very fashionable. They don't think they look like assholes. I think like Roger's not happy taking a photo to be on the cover of an album.
No.
He's
Roger
probably fine. He dressed himself. Those are their clothes.
No one dressed them. Those
are their clothes.
He knows he looks like an asshole.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. He really doesn't.
You know what? There is no way he is that unaware. Then. I mean, he's completely that self-unaware now, but not then. I hope not. I mean,
can we do the album? Like,
all right.
I don't care enough. This isn't the cover to be jizzing on. This is the next one.
I'm not jizzing on it. I'm shitting on it.
Okay.
It's different.
Jizzing on it.
Okay, so we are now going to start.
Whatever you're into, I'm not judging you. If you prefer shit to jizz, that's okay.
Two podcast hosts, 1 cup. So our references are so outdated. I mean, we're so old.
Boomers. 2 boomers.
I'm Gen X, motherfucker. So it starts off with Astronomy Domini.
I interviewed a band today that like I asked them, could you guys, like I asked you before, hey, why don't you back up a little and frame yourself in the picture? And then as the interview kept going, it kept getting closer and closer and closer to the mic till it was like this. Yeah, really? I was like, what the fuck is going on? You guys are 20 something. You shouldn't be doing this. I'm old.
I'm sorry. I should be leaning back. Okay. So Astronomy Domini is actually the first Pink Floyd music I ever learned how to play on guitar. I could only play like one riff. The din 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 din. This song was left off the U.S. version of the.
You just picked the wrong song.
Oh, that's Interstellar Overdrive.
That's correct.
Oh. Well, then I don't know what the hell riff I learned.
Which is the song you learned? Is Overdrive, and Astronomy Domini is
whatever. I can't play it now anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter. And we didn't. One thing I wanted to say about the U.S. version of this record. What was it called?
Fuck if I know.
Pink Floyd.
Just Pink Floyd.
Yeah, no title, and they got rid of Astronomy Domini, Interstellar Overdrive, and they threw on like See Emily Play and shit.
Well, that's fucking dumb.
It is fucking dumb because you know what? Astronomy Domini.
See Emily Play is a good song, but that's fucking dumb.
It doesn't work on this record.
Not at all. No.
CMLE Play is like a legitimately good pop song. That is a great Beatles ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
Bike is not a good Beatles ripoff. It's bizarro Beatles.
Well, I have thoughts. I have thoughts about Bike and Gnome and songs like that. Let's talk about the positive that they open the record with the song that almost dictates the rest of their career.
Basically, it is, yeah.
Good or bad.
This is Dark Side of the Moon.
They hate the term space rock, but it's their fault for doing this song and putting it first on this record.
Well, you know what? You shouldn't have watched fucking Doctor Who before you went in the studio.
Fair. Is it?
Also,
I think it's Astronomy Domine, but everybody says
I don't know.
Domine, but I'm like, they're British. They would never say Domini. There's an accent over the e. No one would say if you
English don't pronounce anything correctly. Have you heard Duncan talk?
We don't pronounce anything correctly, and they
impossible. Merca. English is Merkin, not English.
Dream Theater's new album's coming out this week, and the reviewer for Ghost Cult is like, it annoys me to say Dream Theater ER at the end and not RE. He's like, you guys are wrong. I want to correct it, but I can't.
I don't blame him. I've actually started using the English spelling of canceled.
Sure.
I don't know. I just think that second L just needs to be there. One thing I did want to mention, this album took 3 months to record.
Yeah, they were given a lot of money and time. Again, they were high, and I don't know why they were given this much leeway. But
and then they sent it to America, and the English version of the label is like,
no.
Oh, they're probably thinking, what is England sending us now? We don't need this crap. And so then they like took out the great stuff and put in crap.
We didn't talk about Norman Smith at all, but I guess we'll mention him at the end. The producer, he was bemused by these guys. Great song. Still a great song. They still do it sometimes. You know, they were doing it till the end. It's obviously famously covered by a lot of bands, including Voivod, which
believe it's on the Nick Mason Sauce Full of Secrets record.
It is. I really hope Nick
featuring Guy Pratt.
Yes, I want Nick to come back so we can go to that show.
I don't think he's gonna. He's way old.
82. Yeah. Good song. Great.
I'm shocked Roger's even doing anything.
He shouldn't do anything. Great song.
No, he shouldn't. He can't sing anymore. He should just work in the studio and call it.
I don't have anything else to add except that it is still one of the greatest songs, one of the greatest Sid songs.
The thing about this album, nope. So let's sum up. I'm sorry, I'm trying to sum it up on the first song. I'm not going to do that. And
now you know how Nick feels about this record already. Like, fuck this. I'm done with this.
Shit. You don't know shit, motherfucker.
I don't know shit about fuck or dick about shit.
Ew. Okay, Short Circuit. I don't know. So, I don't know. Okay. Next is Lucifer Sam, a song about a black cat. I have a black cat, so the song is automatically amazing. Originally, the name of the song was Percy's Rat Catcher. It's, this is the Sid. Because Astronomy Domini, Interstellar Overdrive, that's not Sid. That's the rest of the band insinuating themselves into Sid's thing. And that's why when Sid's gone, we take a hard right turn into that stuff. And if you look at Sid's solo work, of which I have all of, by the way,
it's all Lucifer Sam all the time, basically.
Yeah, basically,
it's Bike and See Emily Play, and
it's complete nut bar pop.
Yeah, Bike.
And Lucifer Sam, great track, no notes.
Yeah, I agree, great track. If you want to hear the bad version of that track, go look up the pre-demo version of the Ratcatcher. It's pretty bad, but I'm good. I'm good.
I like the one that's good.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Moving on into Matilda Mother. I don't have really strong memories of this one.
Solid 60s pop.
Mother.
Yeah, 60s pop song.
The thing about this album is it's bookended, right?
Very strong bookends.
No, it's bookended. Like each side starts with.
Oh, true.
And then each side ends with. It's a weird bookending. So then. Moving on into Flaming, which is great song. This could have been a Beatles song. This is not. It's like Arnold Lane. If Arnold Lane was not about a crazy person, and just about a guy walking in the park.
Wasn't Flaming originally called like Snowing or Snowstorm or something? Probably a cocaine
I
reference.
don't know. I mean,
cocaine. I feel
cocaine.
I feel like Flaming. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Flaming is one of these songs. Is it Beatles, but is it a John or is it a Ringo?
I don't know what that means.
Okay. I mean, I think that's very
I know
obvious
what it,
I mean.
I know what it
I think it's
sounds
very
like
obvious what I mean by that when I say, is this song a John or a Ringo?
I know it's obvious to everybody that's not Nick.
Okay.
I also know what it sounds like to hear Yoko Ono orgasming on wax.
Yes, sir. All right, Flaming is good. I don't think it's great, but it's good. That's me.
What? Great song.
You think it's great? Okay.
Yeah. Power Octa. Is this the beginning of Rogers like wishing he were Scottish?
I've never understood what this was. I'm
just saying, poor Octa. It sounds like Groundskeeper Willie.
It's the first. Oh, that's true. It's the first complete composition by the full band.
It's a Roger. This is more Roger than anything else.
I mean,
I know everybody's credited, but I said what I said. It's not a great song.
Okay.
And it's okay.
Yeah, it's just okay. And then what do you think about Take Up Thy Stethoscope and Walk, which is a complete Roger only?
Oh yeah, this is Roger
Just.
Roger Just. This is Roger inserting himself as the songwriter, and he hasn't learned how to write songs yet.
Not there yet.
No, he's not there yet. Next week in a couple of weeks, we're gonna get to Corporal Clegg when he's there. He's got it done. He's got a great song, and he's finally found that Roger. This week, what the fuck is this? I mean, what does that even mean?
What does anything mean, man? Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody even care? Chicago is next year. Anyway, 68. So yeah, I mean, side one, Astronomy, Lucifer Sam, Matilda's solid, Flaming is very good. I'll give it good to very good. Power, nothing, and Take Up Thy, nothing. Side two. Flip the record.
Side one is front loaded as fuck.
It is very front loaded.
I
feel like I like Matilda Mother more than you, so that's weird.
I think you do. From the record,
not bad.
Do you have this on vinyl?
I don't.
My copy is on a nice pair, the 1975 re-release that Capitol did in order to be like, oh my God, they did this thing called Dark Side of the Moon. If we put out all these records, maybe we can make money.
Pink Floyd has a compilation record called A Nice Pair.
I've also got
that's what it means. I mean, like, that's what they meant.
There are literally boobies, full-on naked boobies on the record.
And we can show it here. We'll get flagged.
And I bought a copy for the kid.
Oh, wow.
She's got boobies. I mean, she knows.
I don't want to talk about your kid, man.
That's fine. I don't. Okay. Wow, mean.
Not like that, but just like
she's a woman. It's fine. But not. None of this is gonna say. Omar, cut the fuck out of this. What?
Omar's busy working with Fashion Week. He can't.
Wait a minute. I'm on the other side now.
Why did you raise your hand? Don't do weird shit.
There we go. Back on the right side. Okay. Interstellar Overdrive.
That's your song.
I mean, that's like 9 minutes of that.
Why? I mean, this is the first long song from the band.
Why? Because it's amazing.
They were doing it long. It is a great song.
This is the kind of stuff like this. Astronomy Domine. It's probably
Whatever.
Domine. It's got an accent on the E. But this is the kind of stuff that they were doing in the clubs. They're experimental. And this is how they hedged their bets between the two things. And Interstellar Overdrive is, I mean, it's simple and amazing. Truly amazing. I mean, how do you do... nobody did instrumentals for 9 minutes in 1967.
Maybe the Beatles, nobody else. Beatles were just getting there. And Beach Boys. Beach Boys would do some weird psychedelic freak outs.
What I don't know about the Beach Boys, you could just about squeeze.
Well, we would probably do a run at
No.
I know.
No.
Great music. I should have made you laugh while you had the beer to your mouth. No notes. Interstellar Overdrive is great, and let's face it, this and Astronomy are of the Sid era, the two peaks, and maybe a few other tracks, and Arnold Lane and things. And
I'll say that nothing on Masters of Rock is the peak.
no,
Arnold Lane is as high as that goes.
yeah, but also like I think outside of the '70s stuff that we already know is massively influential, this is why Sid is still revered. This
Oh,
is
completely,
why.
completely.
Like this was the glimmer of what he probably would have done if he hadn't broken down.
Well, and the two solo records he did had some amazing moments.
He did it. Roger and David did with a little bit of Sid on top. Like he did. Anyway,
He wrote those songs.
wrote is a very strong pejorative.
I don't think
I don't think
Roger or David could have written those songs. Definitely not David. He couldn't write lyrics. He still can't write lyrics. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay. I don't think Sid did much on those records. Let's talk about the Gnome.
Moving on to Grimble Gromble.
Grimble Gromble. The Gnome is a absolute Ringo. It's a Ringo. So like Flaming, not so much, but the Gnome and the Scarecrow are Ringos. Let's just get it out of the way.
This is a song that Nick Mason refers to frequently in his book.
Yes.
And not in a good way.
He tried to bin it and they wouldn't let him.
He's like, we're playing these places with all these bands, and I don't know if they want to hear songs about a gnome, but we were playing them.
Mm.
I don't think he liked Lucifer Sam all that much either, now that I mention it. Grimble Gromble and the gnome, it's okay. It's Sid doing bizarro Beatles, and that's like Sid's thing. It's here's the bouquet of flowers for my love, except it's actually eels.
Fair. They were on so much drugs. I don't like the drugs, but the drugs like them. We spent a lot of time talking about chapter 24 last week being a nothing burger, but I did want to point out, I don't know if you had any other thoughts about it, like maybe your opinion could not have changed in this 1 week because you were dogging it. But I will say, like, I don't think it was apparent in the mix on Masters of Rock, but on the album version, there we were like, what is this stereo panning? It's at the end of the song where literally somebody's turning the knob to 9 and back to 1, and from 9 and back to 1, and from 9 and back to 1. So it's like left ear, right ear, left ear, hip hop hooray. Ho. It doesn't make the song any better. It's just
it doesn't.
It's a cool trick. It should have saved it for a better song. I appreciate that they tried it. Not that great a song.
Moving on. The Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. It's a Ringo.
A song we talked about quite a bit last year. Now, you want to talk about going out on a high note. Bike.
Bike is awesome.
I love this song. When I was younger, when I was little, back in the cassette days, before I got my CD player, I had 3 Pink Floyd tapes. I had A Momentary Lapse of Reason, which is why I love that record unnaturally, like way more than most people do. Because I didn't realize at the time that David was trying so hard to be Roger. I just listened to the music the way it was. Because Dave doesn't write, part 1 to 75 of his songs. That's a Roger thing. But he did that on that album. I had The Wall, of course, and I had Relics. And Relics, just like this record, ends on Bike. I don't know why Bike is such a great ending song.
I think
also,
it's like a full...
on Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets.
Yeah, it's a normal... Because it's like the most normal song beside Lucifer Sam. That's like an actual song structure that makes sense, that sounds like a little ditty. It's catchy, it's subversive.
Until the Ducks.
Yes, but it's those things that Sid is masterful at. It's like, you don't really appreciate how, like, there's so much weird left field guitar on these songs that you don't like. The whole ending of it, Interstellar Overdrive, has these like overwrought jazz notes, just like weirdly, they're not jazzy, but they're just like his inspiration in his mind. He thought he was hearing jazz, and he's just like farting out notes here and there.
Sid thought a lot of things.
Well, I'm trying to get inside that brain and live there, but I'm just saying, like, I
I
think
don't know.
bike is like accessible. It works. It's like their Yellow Submarine. I'm sorry to just keep Beatlesing them, but like it is
That's no, it's totally fine because they were trying to be the Beatles. Like you had
a
half of the
little.
band, you had the band like not really sure where to go. They're like holding up a tapestry, and they're pulling it both ways. Going, do we go pop? Do we go avant garde? Do we
Well,
go avant
both
pop?
at the same
Yeah,
time. Well, two other things. Let's talk about Rick. Rick is incredible right out of the gate on this record. Every keyboard line is a banger. He adds a lot of color to every song. There's no keyboard part I would throw away. I think Nik is a little bit chained to whatever song Sid thought he was making here. So, I'm not like it's not Nick's
look,
finest hour, but it's solid.
I love Nick. I love Nick Mason. Love him to death. But this could have been the drums in Pink Floyd could have been anybody
On this record,
on all records.
no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
yeah,
I
yeah.
disagree. Hard disagree.
You can be wrong.
Come on. I can't believe this just
Come on,
like
what?
came out of your mouth with this. You're crazy. No one else could be the drummer in Pink Floyd. No one. No
Okay.
one. No one else. And I'll make my kid now. I'm mad. I'm gonna make my when we
Ow!
go
I hurt my ear. I hurt my ear.
doing what?
Scratching it.
Next week, Nik and Keefy go to the nursing home. Jesus. What the fuck is wrong with you? I hurt my ear scratching it.
Okay, so let's talk about something different now.
I used to be in a band with a kid that complained that fellatio tickled too much. This is the equivalent of that. Oh fuck.
That is like in Shorzy. When you're getting a jerk off? I'm sorry, what? A jerk off? Liam, you fucking infant. It's getting jerked off.
Did he say
I forget how fucking young you are sometimes.
Did he say making fuck? Anyway, go on.
Moving on. Let's talk about something different. Let's talk about somebody new. Somebody we haven't mentioned yet today. Except I did.
Norman Smith?
What?
Norman Smith,
Say
the producer.
Aerosmith?
Norman Smith, the producer.
No, not Aerosmith.
I said Norman Smith. Stop it.
Not Norman Lear. David Gilmour.
He's not on this record.
No, he's not. But
They don't even know him at this point.
Yes, they do.
Barely.
Sid knows him.
Barely. They're acquaintances. They traded weed. You want to smoke this joint? That's how much he knew him.
Hey.
I heard you play guitar. Would you like to hit this spliff? We didn't call them spliffs back then. They were probably joints.
It's Nick's turn.
Do you want to reclaim your time?
I'm reclaiming all the fucking time. I'm going to mute you if I could. I can't. So let's talk about David Gilmour. Because now we are getting into that era. So Pink Floyd has been touring with Sid. During the recording of the album is when they begin to see Sid's deterioration. The producer of the record, Keefy, what's his name?
Norman Smith.
Thank you. Norman Smith tries to give one Sid Barrett constructive criticism, to help him make the songs. And Sid looks at him and says, basically, you're a dick, and I don't listen to your dumbass. He talks to Roger about Roger's songs, and Roger is ready to listen and to make changes and to be better. Roger is already usurping Sid, and nobody noticed. That's my opinion. Nothing to back it up.
I think that at this point, the reason that happens, so apparently, Nick's book talks about this. There's other accounts of this, that Norman, who produced other Pink Floyd records, they liked him. They got on well, as they say. He was very reserved and classically British and straight-laced. And these guys are the swinging 60s, behave like they're all Austin Powers.
They're Austin Powers, yeah.
Yeah. They're like all the sex they ever had, unprotected. So like they just don't josh the guys. You know what I'm saying? They don't like.
I believe the word you're looking for is jive.
Whatever.
You said Josh.
Stop correcting me.
Stop being wrong.
It was like Quasimodo predicted all of this. And Quasimodo, yeah, he predicted everything, like the wars and famines and stuff. Nostradamus predicted everything. Quasimodo is the hunchback of Notre Dame. How come they never talk about the halfback or the fullback of Notre Dame? Shut up.
Oh God! What about the tight end?
Anyway,
And you know what? For the record, today the phrase "tight end" finally made sense to me because the tight end lines up against the tackle,
yes,
tight to the tight end. Wow.
and in front of the end defensively.
No, because they're the end.
Be quiet. Anyway, don't
No,
talk
I won't
about the football you don't understand.
I
Keep your
understand.
footy ball and keep that thing that no
I
one
will
cares
fight
about in
you
America.
mercilessly.
It's okay.
It's gonna be Cobra Kai. It is, yeah, merciless.
It's
gonna be
almost
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai's time. I will wear my Cobra Kai shirt again.
I need to finish the. I haven't finished the last one
You
yet.
should catch up.
I will catch
You're
up.
gonna hurt
Anyway,
your ear again by accident. Take it
don't
easy.
tell me how to live
you.
my life. Okay,
You're
can
not
I
my real
finish?
dad, Keefy.
Can I finish? You're not old enough to be my
Let's get this album's over. Let's finish.
Okay, so Pink Floyd is touring, Sid is deteriorating, and this is when they end up having like random people replace Sid on stage. The first tour. They started a tour of America, which was horribly ill-fated. They had no work visas. The first like 2 weeks of the tour were canceled. They end up in Sausalito, California, home of
The best fish and chips I ever had.
Metallica.
Not really, but they're nearby. Yeah. I think my battery's gonna die on my camera. You better speed run this ending.
What? Anyway, so they ended up playing a show at the Winterland with Jefferson Starship opening. I mean, imagine that, Jefferson Starship and Pink Floyd playing a set at the Winterland. I mean, how amazing is that? They were going to do, then they did they were on Pat Boone's television show. Sid lip syncs perfectly apples and oranges while they're touring behind this album, which does not feature that song when that song is terrible. Then they do the actual performance, the lip sync performance, and Sid goes nothing. They play a show where during Astronomy Domini, or Interstellar Overdrive, one of the two, he tunes his guitar so low the strings pop off. At which point they realize this is now untenable.
He's trying to sabotage them openly.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to do this now.
Right. Sid does not understand the work it takes to be what they were trying to be. So enter David Gilmour. So here we are. We are now at the 5-member Pink Floyd era. There's only one song featuring all 5 of them. We'll get to that in a couple of weeks. But David Gilmour comes in because Sid has gone crazy.
Sid's the bed.
Yeah, he Sid the bed. There are shows where he's playing one chord.
He shitted.
He's playing a chord for the whole night.
It's really tragic, actually, more than anything else. I think it's a combination
Completely.
of things. We'll talk more about it next week or 2 weeks. I think it's a combination of things. It's not just like for years we were told it's the drugs. I think that's the narrative the band liked. I don't think it's just the drugs. I think he didn't want to be a rock star, and they were trying to make him be a rock star, and he was an artist, not a fucking monkey, a dancing monkey. Anyway.
Completely agree, and at this time, they needed him.
They needed, the genius that got them the hype, they needed that guy, and they lost that guy.
Right.
Nick, please take us home.
Everybody lost that guy, and this is the downfall of Sid. There were all kinds of rumors and tall tales about what happened, what they did. He just checked out, and eventually he leaves the band, leaves music, and lives his life in Northern England he lives the life I wish I could lead, being the random strange person that you see at the store. I believe Sid lived his life happy after leaving music. That's my belief. But that's how this album ends.
And take us home, Nick. It's your turn.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for this whole time.
That was my nose.
I don't want to see your nostrils flaring. Come on, man. God.
Thank.
I'd rather see your butthole than your nostrils flaring, to be honest with you.
This
Cinnamon
is
ring.
YouTube's. This is YouTube, sir, and I wipe. So, thank you for joining us this week. This has been kind of a sad episode, really. I mean, the dulling of genius, the sharpening of the corporation. But I am thankful for the contributions we got from Sid Barrett. I am thankful for the music because that's what I'm here for, bro. So, thank you for listening. Gonna end this now. Keefy, every week. This is fun. I love doing this. People who are listening and watching, thank you. We bring this for you. We are a small mom and pop shop, buy local content creation firm. Not really a firm. So if you want to help us out, just go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, tell a friend. And with that, I will say this has been the Glacially Musical Podcast. It does not play in Peoria.
And again, neither did Sid. David will in the future.
He will not.